for the rock star, the man, the husband and father, in conversation with Jonathan Ross and his laptop.
Meet, let's have the answer.
So anyway, what's the question?
I don't know, I can't remember now. Hello, I'm Jonathan Ross, and I'm just about to interview the near-legendary rock and roll performer, Meat Loaf. Now, the worry I have about interviewing Meat Loaf is that I know he's in the middle of a world tour, and he's doing interviews just about every day. And I know for a fact that Meat Loaf is one of those rock and roll types who goes completely mad if he's asked a question that he considers silly or unnecessary or just plain dumb. But there are certain things you just have to talk about, like, for example, his name. I mean, let's face it, Meat Loaf is a really silly name.
Don't ask me silly questions. I'll give you really silly answers.
I like the silly answers. That's what I look
go
for.
ahead.
And if you get past the sticky name problem, then you come to the question, of course, of his weight. And let's face it, for a certain time, Meat Loaf was the only big fat rock star we had.
But anyway, I'm saying I don't think the size has anything to do with it.
But if you've managed to get through the name and the weight questions, then, of course, you have to ask him about the latest album, which is the brilliantly titled Bat Out of Hell 2. The follow-up to Bat Out of Hell 1, which was all of 16 years ago.
I didn't know it was that long.
You see,
You're the first person to tell me that.
You've got to pay more attention to your career because that was a big gap.
16 years.
Well, your guess is as good as mine as to how he'll react to my probing questions, but I think I can rely on my intelligence, my presence, and my British charm to get through the interview without the slightest hint of a rock and roll tantrum.
You little moron.
Now then, Meat Loaf. Mr. Loaf, Meat, Mr. Loaf, what would you prefer?
Meat's fine. How you doing, Jonathan?
Nice to meet you, sir.
Do you always do interviews with your what is that, Power Book?
Only when I'm trying to impress.
Ah.
Meat, you're sitting down with me. You're what, how many weeks into this tour for the huge, phenomenal success of Bat Out of Hell 2, Back into Hell?
Oh, I don't, just short. I don't know how many weeks.
And they're all evenings, no matinees?
That was a good question. No matinees.
But, no, so you've done, what, 50? So let's break that down.
Well, I do a Saturday afternoon
weeks.
kids matinee, though, Jonathan. Well, it's like, you know, I do that, yeah. I dress up like a duck, big yellow one. Sometimes, though, I go as a purple duck. Well, duck and the sword, you know, where the duck puts the sword in the stone. And then, you know, it's kind of interesting.
That's what the kids like.
Yeah, you know, you like...
You thought it through. You obviously, you're calling the kiddie market.
Yeah.
But you're what? So I suppose you're about 10 weeks into this.
Don't ask me silly questions. I'll give you really silly answers.
I like the silly answers. That's what I look for.
Okay, go ahead.
But you've done, what, 10 weeks or something like that?
Somewhere along
And you've been doing interviews all over the place, I would imagine.
I have done a couple of interviews.
So you must be tired
Very astute of you to know that.
Well, a lot of the questions you've been asked, I'm sure you get tired of. So I thought I'd start by saying,
I'll stop you right there. I never get tired of the questions, because most people only get to ask me one question, and then I just answer them. I just go.
As I've just noticed.
Like, yeah, it's like a free, you know, free-form thinking, free association.
Kind of like a Jimi Hendrix approach to thinking.
To guitar, yes, that's right.
Similar thing. But let me ask you, though, is there something that you would like to talk about to just get off your chest that you haven't been consulted about? I mean, be it sex
Your
or
tailor?
sport or... My tailor? You like the cut of my gig?
I like that, yeah.
And what about the suit?
I like your suit, yeah.
So back into Hell.
Okay.
This is
Bat Out of Hell 2. 16
years between Bat Out of Hell 1 and
Bat Out of Hell 2. Go ahead.
Yeah. And I bet it just flew.
No, you're kidding.
I bet it just flew by.
Really, that long? Nobody's told me that yet. But I haven't heard that one yet. I didn't know it was that long.
You see,
you're the first person to tell me
You've
that.
got to pay more attention to your career because that was a big gap.
16 years. Nobody else has mentioned that. Nobody else has mentioned how old I am or how much I weigh either. You know, it's funny.
Hey, give me a chance to get to those topics in a minute because I can see you burning.
Let's see, 16 years, 17 stone, and 45, 42, 38, 46, 48 in Q. Let's see.
The weight needn't be an issue unless you make it one.
Oh, no, but I think they should do it to everybody. I think Billy Idol, 33, 11 stone. I mean, why just me?
I haven't done it to you. You're giving me a hard time.
I'm not doing it to you. I'm just like people who see this. I'm giving them a hard time.
Let it out now. Get it all out your system now.
We are. It's out. It's gone. It's out. Okay. It's like, can I lay down while we do this?
So 16 years, 17 stone. And,
40. And I'm so confused. I've read how old I am so many times, I don't even know how old I am anymore. 42, thank you.
42. Well, it makes no difference to me. I think you're a very attractive man regardless of the
Well, I'm
years
not going out with you, so don't
Okay.
even start with that. I mean, I'll go to dinner, but we won't sit close like they do in the movies, you know, like in Hollywood. Remember the old, the Brown Derby? And they used to sit close and go, hey, baby, you know, go ahead.
I'm barely paying attention. I don't know what the hell you're talking about there.
Yeah, all this stuff is not written in the
got nothing to do with
PowerPoint.
my
I got
questions.
news for you. Go ahead.
All right, so now you had the first huge success. Then there were years of albums which did well, but they were nowhere near as phenomenally successful as the first. Then you're back with this one, and it's like, why did it take you so long? And I know you've been asked this, and I know, but it's not, you know, but
why?
Was it the problem? Was it the collaborative problem you had with Mr. Steinman, or was it just?
No, I don't look as it doesn't feel that long. I'm really being honest. There was a very long period of time between 79 and 84, and then since 84, the middle of 84, everything has progressed the way it should have to me. We came with an album called Bad Attitude, then I came with another record, then I did a live thing, and then I asked the record company I was on, well, first in 86, I asked the record company I was on, look, Jim Steinman and I want to do another record, and they looked at me and said, well, we're not interested.
Now you said, now that's a very stupid thing for them to say.
Well, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I walked in, I was really excited. I haven't told anybody this story, so I'll tell you. I was really excited. I flew all the way from the States into London, because that's where everybody was, and I went in and I got an appointment and I did the whole thing. I didn't ask them, you know, the record company didn't pay for it. I did it all. I said, okay, cool. So I go in and they're all sitting there, and I go in and I go, all right, I got great news. This is fantastic. This is really great. I've met with Jim Steinman. We've had several meetings. We've been out to his house. I've been singing with him. He's right now he's writing a new song, and we want to do another record together. And they didn't even hesitate. I mean, it was like they knew I was going to say this. And they just looked at me and they said, well, that's very interesting, but we really are not interested in anything like that. And I kind of like, excuse me? And they went, no, we're not interested. First, one, we think it'll cost too much money, and Jim Steinman is very difficult to deal with. And so we, I think somebody did tell him I was coming down. I don't know who.
With the story.
Yeah, but, and they said he's very difficult to deal with, and we're not interested in doing a record. And I said, and I just sit there for a minute, and I said, well, you know what? That's fine, and I really appreciate your time and everything, and I'm not interested in being on this label anymore.
Now listen, good video for the hit single.
It
as
is
well.
a good video.
It's a good video.
And there's a director that's largely responsible.
I'm not
for
even
it.
remotely interested in the director. I'll be honest with you.
Well, that's okay, but I'm going to tell you his name's Michael Bay.
Good man. Foxy Babe in the video yet again.
Oh, you're interested in Dana Patrick.
I'll be fully frank with you, as only a man can with another man. But you're a happily married man here. You've got kids and these gorgeous women in your videos.
I'm a sex guy.
Ever tempted?
No. But I'm a sex guy. You know that, right?
We all know that.
I know that. I mean, geez, come on.
You're safe in that knowledge.
That's right. I am safe in that knowledge.
Now, you have
It
two
was
daughters.
on the front of the Daily Mirror Sunday magazine. I'm a sex guy. What is it?
Official.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
in print. It must be true.
When they make you a sex club, do you get a card or a badge or something which proves it that you can carry around with you, like a donor card?
You don't need a card or a badge. You just are.